This is a professional cinema camera that you can pick up today on the used market for about 500 euros. It has professional features like built-in ND filters, a large battery, the option for XLR microphones. You can switch between fully automatic and fully manual mode while recording, and it has the option to shoot in 960 FPS slow motion. So how good is an old cinema camera today? This model is called the Sony NEX FS700. And when we take a look at the build quality, it feels pretty decent but not amazing. Compared to the newer models like the FS7, you can definitely feel that it's just plastic. Below the plastic there is a full aluminium housing, so the camera is very heavy and it won't break that easily. But it just doesn't feel like very high quality, it's just normal plastic. But here on the side you can see you have a lot of buttons. The buttons on the side are really nice because the 6 buttons are customizable, so you can set them to whatever setting you like. And then below there you have the option to change the gain, so that is the ISO, and the white balance with the white balance set button, so you can really easily just press the button and then you have the white balance set. If you're using this camera for the first time, then all these buttons on the side might feel complicated and a bit more annoying compared to using a normal menu system. But after using this camera for a while, then you really get used to all the buttons, and then the camera is actually very fast and easy to operate. And here on the front you can see you have physical ND filters, so when you switch them you will hear a noise. And ND filters are kind of like sunglasses for your camera, so if you want to use a lower shutter speed you can just activate the ND filter. So instead of getting a really bright image you will get the correct exposure. So you can get a nice motion blur and a blurry background at the same time with this camera. Obviously instead of the newer variable ND system it's just a fixed position, but it's so much better having a ND system built in compared to having no ND filter system at all. And you can just put the SD card in here, so there are no dual SD card slots, but a single SD card also works fine. And because this camera was released in 2012, it had the option to shoot in AVC HD, which nowadays is a very outdated codec. It can go up to 28 megabits per second in 1080p 50 frames per second. So you can't record higher than 50 frames per second continuous, because the higher frame rates are in burst mode. So when we take a look at the actual video quality, you can see that it still looks pretty nice, but it's nothing amazing. Because of the older processor and not having the best codecs, you can see that the image quality today isn't the best. It looks decent and the colors can look nice if you use a custom picture profile, but you can definitely see that it doesn't have that much detail. And when you compare the 1080p of the FS5 compared to the FS700, you can see that the FS5 1080p, even in AVC HD, is much better compared to this camera. But you do have the picture profiles on here, which are a generation newer compared to the FS100, so you do have the Cine 2 and Cine 4 option. So I mostly use a custom picture profile, so I like the colors that are now coming out of the camera because the standard picture profile looks very flat. And because of the AVC HD options, you also have the option to shoot in a very low file size, so you can get to 9 megabits per second or even 5 megabits per second in Full HD. But for Full HD YouTube videos the quality is still good enough, so if you just need 1080p and you want more professional options, so a longer battery life, the option for a very good microphone and the ND filters, then this can still be a decent option, because normally cameras have okay microphones, but with this one you have full phantom power XLR ports. Which means that you can connect an external microphone that sounds really high quality. And to keep in mind, you do need to use a microphone on here because there is no internal microphone. And I really like the microphone quality, especially with this Sony shotgun microphone. So it is very directional, so you are hearing what is in front of you instead of everything around you. Okay, so this is a quick microphone test using the Sony FS700. I'm using it at arm's length, so it is pretty heavy. It is using the Sony ECM XM1 microphone connected to the XLR ports, and I am shooting in the picture profile Cine 4. And it is in 1080p 50 FPS. It has a super 35mm sensor and replaceable lenses, so you have the option to get, for example, a large zoom with this lens, so this has 11 times optical zoom. But you can also switch the kit lens to something different, so for example an f1.4 lens with a more blurry background. So it's nice that you have the versatility to choose between different lenses, and it's just the standard Sony E mount, which means that the lenses that Sony makes right now still work on this camera. And you do need to do a firmware update if you want to get the in-camera lens correction, so keep that in mind. Here on the top you have the screen, and it is a pretty small screen, it's not the best quality. You can flip it around And here on the back you have the option for the NPF battery slot, so you can put in a large battery. On the body here you can see an XLR port, but it also has an XLR port right here. And because it was in 2012, it didn't have the newest features. So for example, it doesn't have the multi-interface shoe, but a standard gold shoe. And the only option to connect a microphone is through the XLR ports. And here on the front you have this zoom option, but that doesn't have clear image zoom, so this is only for optical zoom lenses. But here on the grip you do have a start-stop record button, a focus magnifier and a photo mode. And here on the side you have an auto or manual focus switch, and the autofocus of this camera is sadly really bad. This camera is not meant for autofocus at all. It's a great camera to learn manual focus with because the autofocus is just not fast, not reliable. But what I do like is that it has this top handle, so you can easily get some nice low angle shots with this camera. But sadly the image quality is just not that good for any professional work anymore. So it is still good enough for YouTube videos just to get a basic or decent image with very good audio quality, but it won't be that sharp to get any professional results with today. The sensor only has 11 stops of dynamic range, and when you are shooting in higher frame rate, the quality will get a lot worse. So you can shoot in 200, 400 or 800 FPS. In the NTSC region, it will be 240, 480 and 960 FPS, but then you will see that the quality will get a lot worse. So the slow motion is just not that high of a quality. So in 240 FPS it is acceptable, in 480 FPS it's just okay quality, and 960 FPS is just unusable. And then the low light of this camera. Well, actually it isn't completely terrible in low light. Of course technology has gotten a lot better, but back then a lot of cameras had terrible low light image quality. And this one is actually still decent. It's actually a better low light camera compared to the FS7. So you can get up to about 24 or 27 dB and not have that much noise. So if you're shooting in low light, especially when you pair it with an f1.4 lens, then you can get some really nice low light results. Another thing to keep in mind is that this camera is pretty heavy, so here you have the grip on the side and then you need to hold it with another hand, because otherwise it will get very heavy after a while. So should you buy the Sony FS700 today? Well, I think probably not, because as you can see the image quality is just not that good anymore. It isn't very sharp. The main downside to the image of the FS700 is that the internal codecs aren't very good. So the AFC HD image is not sharp at all, it's only 8-bit 420. But it does have a long battery life, a good microphone, so it is still acceptable for example, YouTube videos. And you do have all the manual control, so it is a fun camera to learn and experiment with. But for actual professional use, you can't really use this camera anymore. Unless you get one with a RAW upgrade and then record externally, but then the camera will get even bigger than this. But I still like to use this camera sometimes just because of the full manual control, the long battery life, decent microphone and getting a small file size, while still having a lot of picture profile options, so I can get pretty good colors out of the camera. But what do you think of the Sony FS700? Let me know in the comments down below, and thank you so much for watching.